Oh, hi, YouTube. This is Jamie with some insights for the week of October 11th. I believe it's the 11th. So, as you can see, we are still here, and that's okay. I was praying to the Lord. People were setting dates, and I've always been against date setting because what happens when you set a date um, and the date doesn't come to pass, people start to question who you are, and also you start to feel anxious, like you start to feel like a false prophet. And really, it's just something that you shouldn't do, because we don't know the mind of the Lord. The Lord, Yahuwah, his ways are higher than ours, his thoughts are higher than ours, and as a result we can't predict down to the day. He's not man. And he gave me a scripture, and I want to share it because we need to understand something. The minute he takes us out of this world, calamity is going to hit. Okay, the world's going to change. And Yahuwah is patient. He wants everyone to come to him. And he doesn't want to rush anything if by chance anyone is out there that's going to come to him. Uh, so this scripture is Amos 5:18 through 20. And it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand upon the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?" So Yah has shown me a lot about what's going to happen when he takes his people out of here. Stuff that no movie and no science fiction novel is going to equal. One of the things that's going to happen as we go up, the fallen angels come down. So right now we live around demons, and we know that there are fallen angels, and we know that there's Satan, but we don't fight them, and we don't feel them, we don't see them. It's all going to change. There are fallen angels right now that are called wandering stars that are in the heavens that are going to stay chained until that day. They're ready, and I won't even go into it because I don't want to frighten you, but I want to tell you that there is a day coming we are not ready for. The Nephilim that were here in the beginning, when Noah was alive, and the Lord Yah had to kill everybody except for Noah and his family, because the Nephilim had come and they basically had tainted humankind. So that's just giving you some insight that we need to be ready, but prayed up. We want to go, but we want everybody who can possibly change their mind and possibly get on board to do it. I want to say that Yah is patient and he's loving, and he's not going to do anything until he is certain this is it. This is time. And I know we're at that time, but he knows everything. His ways are higher than ours. So we shouldn't try to set a date. Just be ready. We can see the signs of the time, so be ready. And I think that's what lends to the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise ones, is that you stop becoming ready because you see a delay. And you got to think about all the things that is happening in heaven. I mean, all of us that are going to get there, I mean, he's got a place for us. He's making room for us. He's doing a work, and we need to pray that his work will be done and pray for those that are going to be here. So I keep talking to my kids about the rapture, and I tell you, I tell them why there has to be a rapture. Not only that there's going to be a rapture, and it's scriptural, and I'm going to read the scripture to it, but why there has to be a rapture. So, first of all, here's a clue about the rapture. It says, this is in 1 Corinthians 15, 51 and 52. Lo, I say to you a mystery of holy things, and all we shall rise again, but not all shall be changed to the state of glory in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, in the last trump. For the trump shall sound, and dead men shall rise again without corruption, and we shall be changed. So we're going to go from corruption to incorruption. And if you're dead, you're going to go from mortal to immortality. Excuse me, but this was a different version that I usually read. This was the Wycliffe version, but I usually read King James. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. He's giving us clues to when. And I read into the scripture, I might read in it too much, but when he says, in the last trump, I don't know, does he mean like this year, the last trump, the last person that, is he referring to Trump? I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past that he's really letting us know. There was another guy on YouTube, he had a dream, and the dream was about trumpets, but it wasn't about trumpets, it was about Trump and Pence. And he was like, wait a minute, trumpets. He put it together, and it's like, is that true? Well, one thing I'm gonna say is everything in coincidence? It could have been Trump and Dooley, but it was Trump and Pence. Is it a sign? Like trumpets, like get ready. So reading these scriptures, the Lord was showing me about the Antichrist, and I'm just going to do a little scripture on it. I'm not going to go into it, but I want to encourage you to read scripture, and I believe that he shows you who the Antichrist is. He's going to reveal the Antichrist after we're gone. But do you know how fast everything's going to happen after we're gone? After we're gone, this is ground zero. After that, it's takeoff time. And he's going to shorten those days of tribulation. So after we're gone 3.5 years and it's over, and you can look back 3.5 years of your life. That was just 2017, seems like yesterday. And so I'm going to read this, and this is in Daniel 7:7-8. And this is Daniel. He saw a vision. After these things, I beheld in the vision of night, and lo, the fourth beast, fearful and wonderful and full strong. It had great iron teeth, and it ate and made less, and defiled with his feet other things. Forsook it was unlike other beasts, which I had seen before it. It had 10 horns. I beheld the horns, and lo, another little horn came out of the midst of those, and 3 of the first horns were drawn out from the face thereof. And lo, Eyes as the eyes of a man were in the horn, and a mouth speaking great things. So the horn um, had the eyes of a man, and he was speaking great things. Some people say that's the papacy, but I also think it's the Antichrist, as well. And so we need to be realize that we are in the time. Um, like some people say to me, well, how do you know it? I mean, it's no different than it is before, but seriously, like we're all wearing a mask. Okay. That's unlike the days of Noah. I mean, if it was just like the days of Noah, they would be wearing masks too. But we're wearing a mask, and we need to understand that that's pestilence. Okay. Pestilence is across the world. Okay. It's different. And I also wanted just to remind you why I'm calling him Yahuwah, God Yahuwah. And that is because that's his name. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that because when we go see him, we don't want to call him God and Lord. It's kind of like if I were to call you ma'am or Mr., and I'd be like, Mr., I love you. Ma'am, I love you. It's not like that. We need to know the name. His name is Yahuwah. You can call him Yah, and get used to it. I have only been calling him by his name for a couple months, and it's not easy to remember because I have not done that. I've been God, God, Lord, Lord. But here's a scripture about that. Jeremiah 31:33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with those of the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I'll say Yah, but saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it on their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they should teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me. For the least of them to the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So there's coming a day, it's not very far. I mean, after the rapture, so second coming of Yeshua, after that, this is the 1,000-year millennial reign. After that, we're all going to know him because he's going to extract from this world and the next those who don't want to serve him. So Rapture Insight this week, don't set a date, just be ready. Be ready because he is coming. Do not doubt, and he has to come because if he doesn't, people won't change. I told my kids, I said, the only way you're going to change is if he comes. He has to come because the world's going to continue on as it is unless there is a reason not to. So I'm going to let go from there. Have a great night, YouTube. Go with God. He's going with you. Get ready. Be ready because he's coming. And when he comes, it's over. It's over. It's over in the sense that everything starts to roll from there. And you can still be saved during the tribulation. And I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it goes into a new phase and it goes way up to level 10. And right now we're at level 1.5. So that's all I want to say. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.